All right, class, here we're going to touch on integers and some mathematical operators and order of operations. And I'm going to start off with the type command. We do a type on the integer of 2, hit enter. You see we get a class of int, which is integer. We do a type on a float of 55 mark 0 or dot 0 or decimal point 0. And hit enter, you'll see that that type is a float. That means that it has something after the decimal point. Let it be a 0 or another integer, or a combination of integers. Now if we do a type on what we think is 1 million and hit enter, you see we receive an error. It's a combination of integers and strings. So, and if we want to get the type of 1 million, we leverage it without commas. Now, that tells us it's an integer, but if we did it with commas and wrapped it in quotes, we notice it's a string. So just keep that in mind. Do you want the representation of an integer, or do you want the value? In this case, we're going to be working with the values of integers. So moving along to mathematical operators. Python has a couple built in. More than a couple, but these are the primary ones. We have addition, plus, minus, multiply, divide, power, the power of or power 2, divide floor, which basically rounds down to the integer, and then the modulo, which just gives you the remainder of a division operation. So let's start off with 2 plus 2, 4. Awesome. Notice I put a space in there. It doesn't matter if you put a space in there. Let's see what happens here. It doesn't matter, right? Python's pretty lenient here. So let's do 4 minus 2. Awesome. Let's do 4 times 2. Cool. I'm getting the drift of this, right? 4 divided by 2. You see it gave us straight division, gives us the remainder of 0. So it's 2 with the remainder of 0. Excuse me. Now let's do some power of. Let's say 4 to the power of 4. Well, let's say 2 to the power of 4, right? 16. 2 times 2 times 2 times 2. 2 times 2 is 4. Times 2 is 8. Is 16 times 2, and 16. Perfect. Awesome. So let's do a division of floor. Let's do 13 divided by 3. And we have 3 going to 13 4 times with no remainder. Now if we do the same thing with modulo, 13 with a modulo of 3, and we get the remainder only. Awesome. So modulo is kind of cool. I know your book points out that it helps to see if to check a number. I guess it's right there. Aids in checking if a number is indeed divisible by another number, and it'll give you back a 0 if it's a perfect division. So let's try that. Let's do 12 modulo of 3, right? And 3 goes into 12 4 times with no remainder, so you get a 0. So that's awesome. Let's talk about order of operations on page 32 of your book. So PEMDAS, parentheses, exponents, multiplication, division, addition, subtraction. So if you have something like this, 4 times 2, let's see, that would be 8 minus 6. Let's do plus 1. So let's walk through this. So parentheses first, 2 times 4 is 8, minus 6 is 2, plus 1 is 3. And that's indeed. So you can get tricky with these two and start to maneuver them. I suggest practice with it, have some fun. It'll help you out later on when we discuss variables, which are coming up next.